Alright, and we're back for another week of Monster Hunter Barovia. Last time, our players ended up having a long conversation with Lady Wachter and decided that her proposal, although pretty straightforward, was not in their best interest. They declined her offer and decided to try to find a different way of obtaining the relic that she houses in her home. They're going to end up waiting until the festival kicks off to make a possibly discreet entrance. We'll see about that. But in the meanwhile, Lyndon ended up striking a conversation with Ricardo back at the Blue Water Inn, and both Lucy and Quinn ended up having some disturbing nightmares as they rested. Anything else left out, guys?
I don't believe we told Lady Walker we weren't going to do her thing. I think we said we were going to help her, but we're planning on
Yeah, we
not.
were just like, yeah, we will. I think we said
Subterfuge.
something along the lines of we will sleep on it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
No, I'm pretty sure we said that.
There was a letter. We had Parrot drop off a letter
Yes.
Okay.
saying that we were like going to do it during the festival or something. But by it, what we really mean is break into her house and not kill the guy she wanted us to kill. I think that's what it was.
Something along those lines. That sounds right.
I'm gonna make a note of that. Okay. Yeah, so I think the consensus was that on your guys' free day, you guys were going to make a trip out to the church, from understanding, unless there was any business that you wished to conduct at the inn. Alright. Alright, then we'll take it from there. Alright, so it's morning. Everyone's back in. The patrons that you normally are accustomed to seeing enjoying their morning meals of bread, cheese, hunk of ham on the table. But yeah, seems like the same regulars that's been showing up day in and day out since you guys been here, and you know, aside from that, seems like a regular day at the inn.
All right, weren't we gonna go and check up on Ismark and his sister?
That was the plan, yes.
Irina, right? And didn't they say they were at the? Who had that note that Ismark left for us?
There was not. Um.
Yeah, they said they were at the chapel. I want to say.
Yeah, Matilda opened it.
Ah, okay. So we are going to a chapel to talk to Irina and Ismark.
That was the plan. Anybody have anything else they want to get done? Parrot, Lucy.
Yes, Lucy. Is there anything you wish to say?
I just shrug.
She
Fascinating.
seems a little quiet tonight. Better humor. Okay. Well, I guess. So what time of day is it now? Where are we at
Yeah,
with that?
yeah, just not much past dawn essentially.
All right. I guess let's head out to the chapel.
Okay. So there should be a new map that should be available to you guys called the Valaki Church.
Alright, we can continue in 30 minutes after we finish loading.
As you're loading, the description of the church is as follows. This slouching, centuries old stone church has a bulging steeple in the back and walls lined with cracked stained glass windows depicting pious saints. A fence of wrought iron encloses a garden of gravestones next to the church. A thin mist creeps among the graves.
Why can they not hire any architects for this place? Like all these buildings are leaning over. Okay, seems pretty. Other than the slouching building,
Yeah, not.
standard fare.
I see black screen. I'm blindfolded right now.
Oh, I may have.
I told you not to blindfold Parrot.
Yeah, let me see if I can focus you in because I know sometimes the map does something
I
odd.
think I'm having the same thing. So
Okay,
Yeah, me too.
center players on current view. Let's try that. That help?
Black screen of doom.
What?
Doom.
Doom on you.
Man. Alright, let's try this one more time. And the last map loaded correctly?
Everything loaded was loading fine, but the new one.
Yeah, we were on the last map just fine, but
Oh, and the town square one, because apparently that's the new one. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. Yeah, vineyard loads fine.
What the hell, man? I'm looking as shows a player and it shows you guys should have everything.
It's
it's
just
just
loading.
loading.
Ah, the loading screen of Doom.
Doom.
Doom. Everyone Doom?
Doom.
What the hell? Hmm. Not seeing any error message, and I'm not seeing any network issue, so what the Strahd, man?
What the Strahd?
Oh, hey, I have a picture.
Okay. It's just
Oh, yep, there we go.
Still black screen.
what the hell? I have 1 gigabit internet. You guys should all the upload and packet transfer should be golden. Go yell at the internet service provider for not routing my traffic on priority.
I've just had a really long day, and that was a lot of big words I don't feel like processing.
Why internet bad things? There we go.
There it is.
All right, I'm in.
All right.
Still
of
black
day are
screen for me.
Really quick, what time of day are we shooting at for this here? I mean, this isn't
Early.
nighttime, right? This is still.
Yeah,
That's
morning.
early.
Boom.
Weird. Don't know why this map. This map actually has fewer assets than some of the other ones. It's really odd. All right, everyone good now? Everyone loaded?
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
All right. Okay, so as you guys approach the area, you see a human male standing in front of you, and he you can kind of just see him just kind of picking up just pieces of broken wood and dirt and just kind of making the pathway clear. He's kind of gives you a weary look as you approach and then goes back to just shoveling as if he was just trying to clean up a mess that was left outside.
We don't talk to the hourlies. Well, he seems to be doing his own thing. Is he just like, does he make any note of us, or just kind of like?
Yeah, he just takes a note of you, and he just keeps shoveling mud and other stuff off the steps and trying to get the uh, get the steps cleaned up a bit. It looks like that there was a bit of a mess from the last night's mild storm.
All right. I'll kind of like tip my hood at him and then head inside.
Yeah, he just kind of gives you a nod back.
I mean, I'm trotting behind him, so
Okay. Yeah, Quinn, as soon as you enter the church, you hear two familiar voices talking to a gentleman in the back. Talking, the conversation isn't exactly loud, but there's some. It's a bit tense. Something about someone not doing their best to keep things going, and how could they let something like that happen to their townsfolk? It's a bit muffled as you're quite a few distance away.
Is there any furniture in the giant public area?
Nope.
Okay, I guess we will mull in the atrium while the conversation happens. I don't want to interrupt. It's not my place.
Okay. Yeah, as you get closer, both Ismark and Irina are protesting the fact that the townsfolk are not doing anything about the presumed innocence of one of the peoples who ah one of the attendees of the church from last night's ordeal that caused a small riot inside, and keep asking why no one's doing anything about the unlawful incarceration of one of their own people. And are you going to? Okay, so you are going to eventually walk into there.
I'm going to again remain in the atrium. I am being heavy-footed as I like come in. Um, Mika, are you in too?
Sorry. I like zoned out for a second, like my brain just sort of stroked off. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sure that Vika and Tilda probably are making enough noise to make it be known that there are people here. So I'm not trying to like eavesdrop, and I'm not trying to like interrupt, but I'm trying to politely make my presence known.
Yeah. As you guys kind of start looking at the the father of the church kind of just gives a slight look, and he kind of just mutters out and goes, "Well, there's not much we can really do. He knows the rules, and the rules state that if anyone tries to disturb the peace, they'll be arrested for disturbing it. Now, it looks like we have some new attendees that I must see to." Kind of walks past both of them. He's like, "Welcome. Unfortunately, we had a bit of an incident last night, and there's not much here, but if you wish to make your prayers to the Morning Lord, this area is available for your prayers."
Oh, it's no problem at all, Padre. Actually, we are not here for that. We actually came to visit with your young guests, who you're speaking with. They are old friends of ours, and uh, we just wanted to check up on them.
You can kind of see his eyes kind of flicker for a moment with a bit of surprise, like, "Oh, well, maybe you can make some sense and prevent them from doing something foolish like get themselves arrested. I tried, but these young folks seem to determine that their own self-righteousness should supersede the laws of our land. Excuse me."
I assure you, sir, that foolishness is not a thing that we are ever party to.
Vika lightly coughs.
and he kind of bids you welcome in. He kind of gives you a gesture and is like, uh, "Please make yourselves at home and enjoy the peace that this place gives you." And then he kind of just walks past you and go into his chamber, closing the door.
This place looks a lot better than the last church we were at.
Yeah.
Hopefully that means there are less vampires hidden in the basement as well.
I mean, one can always hope.
Yeah.
I wonder if you go into the basement the same way.
You can certainly check.
I look at the doors closely to see how they lock.
Uh, Compared to the last church that you guys were in with the strikingly similar architecture, you can definitely tell that this one's actually been maintained. You know, the polish on the wooden handles seem like they were just done not too long ago, and there's not really any signs of rust. It seems like everything's well oiled and well maintained here, at least.
Well, is Mark an arena? If it isn't, if you haven't seemed to have gotten yourself in a pickle already.
Ismark kind of, folds his hands over his chest and goes, "Well, tell that to her. She's all determined to right the wrongs in somewhere we don't have any real stake in, and trying to jeopardize what little safety that we've got." She kind of gives Irina gives Ismark kind of a very piercing stare about that.
So, what exactly is the problem?
Ismark kind of shakes his head. It's like, well, apparently one of the local folks here, I guess who was it? The shoemaker of all people decided to speak out against the burgomaster and decided
Cobblers.
decided that all is not well, and that got the church up in a roar. And well, I don't know how much of the mess is still outside, but things were tossed, and guards came and took the guy away, and now some people are saying that that wasn't right, and others are saying that, well, he did kind of break the law of the land, so he got what he deserved. Told Irina not to get involved because it's none of our affairs.
Well, was it a riot? Were people like being violent?
Well, not the person that was arrested for saying that, but some people got fed up and decided that, scuffle broke out, and I guess things got a bit out of hand. You see a poor lad in the back kind of just shaking his head as he's glass around the clean up glass around the windows a little bit. Things got a bit violent when the guards show up, and there was a bit of a resisting arrest that happened. So yeah, we had a fun night. How about you guys?
Really quick,
Hmm?
do I happen to notice anything out of place or like weird with the tussle? Like I realize like stuff's like shuffled around, but is there anything odd about any of it?
No, well, go ahead and roll me an investigation.
Jesus. 5.
Nah, you've seen a couple of barroom brawls and scuffles, and that's pretty much all you're able to make sense of. Like, someone threw stuff, glass was broken, but nothing that would spell like a insider threat or anything like that. Um, Actually, yeah. Anyone who uh, does Parrot or Lucy have any type of arcane sense or anything like that, or
Arcane sense?
yeah, anything that would detect like magic or anything passively?
Nope.
No.
Not that I'm aware of, anyway. At least for me.
Okay. Okay, never mind then.
I have done my share of studying magic stuff, but I can't like detect magic.
Okay, I didn't know if anyone had anything passive about that. So, okay, but yeah, aside from your general inquiry about the scuffle, you, nothing out of the usual from normal brawls you've seen.
Okay.
So, what caused you to feel so passionate about this? First of all, things are not all well and good, and we all know that. So, I mean, it's true. But what was it that made you jump to the defense of this gentleman so quickly?
She kind of puts a hand to where her body is. She's like, "Well, I know just how it's been just to be living in the shadow, and I I just feel for these townspeople. I really don't think it's right for them just to kind of go with the flow when it's gonna just end up backfiring on them."
No, I'm inclined to agree that what the burgomaster is doing and the way he is running things is not great for the community. I mean, it feels short term that it's doing like good for the morale, I'm sure, but it's only a matter of time before, the vampires and the werewolves break down the doors and all of that. So there's only one way to really prevent all that from happening, and well, we're kind of trying to work on that.
She kind of, you see a little bit of fire behind her eyes. She's like, "Exactly. It's not exactly right for these poor folks just to have to be forced to be happy when things are gloom. They're suffering already enough. No reason to prolong it. They should just do what they feel is best for the community, and if that means throwing away this false hope, then so be it. It's not right for this poor man to be so unjustly trialed and imprisoned."
Oh, so what do you want to do about it, or is there anything that you can do? What I'll say, Ismark, Burgomaster to Burgomaster, maybe you could have a word with him. Is there like a, I don't know if there's like a friends amongst Burgomaster camaraderie meeting or something like that that's happened from time to time. Do you know anything about this bloke?
He nods. He's like, "Yeah, he came over to Barovia not too long ago, and he ended up having a conversation with my dad about opening up trade commerce between the two towns to try to find some way to deal with the massive inflation. Thinking passing goods might be a good thing, but man, that guy's a pompous ass. He thought that his plan was so much better, even though we pointed out there were several flaws with it. He wanted to unjustly take whatever items that we were not using and cut it in half and charge us double what he was for goods that we damn well know that weren't even close to that price."
Hmm.
Hmm. So what do you want to do about it? I mean, there's nothing we really can do. We can't really interfere unless you aim to misbehave even more than we already are. Excuse me, I didn't say that out loud.
Yeah, no, we are law-abiding citizens, absolutely. Um,
Technically, law-abiding travelers. We are not citizens of these places.
true. Um, but having us wind up in the clink isn't going to do anybody any good. And as hard as this is to say, Irina, I feel that you are right trying to jump to the defense of this man is just trying to do the right thing, but um, we cannot save everyone.
And even if we did, then what comes next? What stops the guards from arresting him again? Does he give up his life here and run to somewhere else? Where else can we go? And uh, then, say one decides that the burgomaster is inappropriate leadership. Then who takes place? Who keeps things running? Dismantling a government is much bigger than one man because you must have next one in place.
You can kind of see that, she takes what you have at heart and kind of processes it, and she's like, "Well, you have a point, but I just don't like seeing innocents being treated so poorly." She touches her neck again. It's like, it's not right just because of circumstances that others have to suffer for that.
I fully agree, but like I said, if one wants to um, do something about it in a grand manner, one must have planned not just for the action of, but for what comes after. Otherwise, the innocents will suffer more.
Ismark nods his head and he's like, I agree. If there was only someone of his descent that could take over for him, we could maybe convince him to take over for his dad, but I don't really know if someone like that exists. I'm not really too close with this
He
guy.
he does have son, though is complicated. I did not speak with him. Yes. Tilda, you spoke with son. Yes.
Yes. But I don't know that he would take over.
Wasn't he trying to run away or something?
Yeah, so I don't think he'd really be interested in signing up to stay here.
Ismark kind of
Yes,
nods his head.
he apparently was having an issue with the daughter of Lady Wachter, apparently, and he didn't like the way that ended, and he just wanted to leave, I believe.
It kind of started before that. I mean, I think there's just a lot of issues in that family.
So it is hard to say if he is good candidate to take over in leadership. Is there anyone else who is vocal, trusted voice by locals that would be a viable candidate?
Ismark kind of goes. Typically, how things go around here is that they're passed down through family lineage. So, if one noble house doesn't produce an heir, it would fall to the next noble family who would have stake in the claim.
And we're not going with that.
He kind of raises an eyebrow, like, "Oh, who?" They kind of go. They kind of look at each other, like, "Oh, you've been busy."
There is definitely not conversation where other noble family definitely did not ask us to depose of current ruling noble family because they wanted to take over. That would never have happened. But if it did, we would have walked away and
Been law-abiding citizens, as I stated before.
law-abiding visitors.
Anyways, in all this, once again, I believe the solution to all these political issues lie in a problem that we are all investigating right now, which is, of course, the departure of he who should not be named. Um, Otherwise, how are things going here? Is this where you're staying, or are you just, is this where the two of you are staying?
Ismark nods his head. It's like, yes, the father here apparently received some sort of notice from the priest from our town, explained the situation, and he has granted sanctuary here. We have our own accommodations, and it feels safe here than we felt in a long while.
Well, he doesn't seem too happy with the two of you at present, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I think I think we just don't want to cause more hardship upon this place. That whole mess last night kind of ruined his place of worship, and he's a little bit frustrated. Apparently, there was a artifact that has lasted over 100 years that was damaged in the brawl last night, so he's a little upset about that.
Artifact?
Yeah, he kind
No
of
flies on the bird.
he kind of nods his head and goes, "Yeah, there was a wooden effigy of Saint Andrel that was carved during the time he lived that ended up getting broken during the scuffle. Trying to see if someone can repair it, but it's one of the patron saints of this church, so it's been here for quite a while."
Effigies. I know what to do with effigies.
Does it involve age?
You touch it and light it on fire.
What material is it made out of?
He just he's like, well, I'm no expert, but probably some sort of oak.
Wood. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not so good with wood. With wood. Are you sure it's not made out of chemicals? I'm good with that.
Okay, so question now. Do I see where this was broken.
Not in the main congregating area, no.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go talk to the priest then separately.
Okay.
This is gonna be fun. Right, moving tokens. Sorry, embed. Is he in his room?
Yeah.
I'm gonna come tap on the door.
Yes.
And
Tap
then
on
there
the door
came
again.
faintly rapping, as if someone faintly tapping at his chamber door.
Oh God.
Quote the parrot nevermore. Yeah, he opens up the door and he's like, "Yes, how can I help you?"
Effigy.
He kind of looks. Oh, yes, sorry. I'm trying to see if it's repairable.
Um. See.
He kind of gives you a. He kind of gives you a eyebrows like, see. Oh. He goes to. You see like two pieces that kind of are splintered down the middle, and he's like, "Yes, see, broken."
Do I notice anything about them? Like looking at it, is there anything? I'm curious.
It just looks like a wooden carving of a man in a robe.
Um. Special.
He nods his like, "Yes, it's one of our church's founding items, carved during the life of the Saint Angelo himself. Very sad."
Hmm. I'm going to use minor illusion to make like a copy of it in my hand,
Okay.
like, and just try to show it to him to make him feel better.
Wow.
Yeah, this is what it would look like if it wasn't fucked up.
Yeah, you go and just roll me an arcane check to see how detailed you can make it.
No, this is going to go terribly.
Yep, get an arcana check.
Oh, it's horrible. 3.
Amazing.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, you get the basic shape taken care of, but I mean, yeah, any detail that would make it give it any type of character completely gone. He's like, he kind of nods to say, "Yes, bird man. It looks kind of like that fool."
I
He
think the
sort
other
of is.
statue is supposed to be wearing pants.
I don't know. Technically, it's in its house.
Oh, thank you for that. Um, alrighty, well. Hmm.
So, how badly damaged is this effigy?
It's just cracked in half, splitting down. It's like it just took a bad. It took a tumble and it hit it at an angle to where it just kind of popped out. Like I could I would say it's almost bisected diagonally.
It looks like it just needs an application of glue. You boil some hoops for long enough, you get the glue, you put it back together. Yes.
He lets out a sigh. He's like, it, it'll have a. Guess we can say that it'll have some character to it.
Hmm. It would be better, I think, if we had like a wizard or a sorcerer with us, be able to do something about that. Do we have anybody in the group who is any good at any of that sort of thing?
No, they got kidnapped. Remember?
Ah, It's unfortunate then.
No pants.
Man.
Fucking wizards.
I mean, if he has tools, I could try to repair it with woodworking, but
Are you any good at that?
what was it?
Are you any good at that?
I am proficient with woodcarver's tools.
Huh.
Yeah.
Shh.
Yeah, never thought that would come in handy, did you?
I mean, do you want to try to attempt to repair it?
Sure, I will try to attempt to fix the effigy.
Okay. Go ahead and just how should we do this?
Here comes the natural one.
I know, right?
Say, may your rolls be better than mine have been.
There it is. I knew I had something about using tools too. I also get to double my proficiency bonus.
Yeah.
So expertise.
Yeah, good old fire rune. So what? It would be like proficiency and what stat would I add?
Probably Dex, since it's kind of a
Okay.
yeah.
So I add a +7. Let me roll a d. Oof. That's a 10.
Yeah, you get
I
the
was
right
lying,
application.
not like this.
Yeah, you can get the application of glue on there, but it's enough to kind of bind it together, but you can definitely tell that it's going to need probably some more attention in terms of trying to smooth out the glue that's going to end up being on the outside, and it might need a little bit of work even after that with maybe some um oh damn it, what's the word I'm looking for?
Sandpaper or like some new varnish or something.
Yeah, new varnish, a better stain on it. But at least it'll function and hold together as one unit again.
Does anyone have any sandpaper?
I'm gonna look at you like deer in the headlights. I don't know what the hell that is.
This paper with sand glued is used to smooth things.
I don't know if they grade it, but
Of course.
I show you my piece of parchment. That's all I've got.
It will need a bit of smoothing and a bit of fresh varnish, but once it's done, it should be good as new.
He kind of nods. He's like, well, thank you for for your attempt. I know this is much. It's much to ask for any assistance, especially when you're strangers in a strange town. But please know that you're welcome at any time for the kindness you've shown here, in case you need sanctuary.
Is I'm glad to help.
You can see that softened him up a little bit, though he's still hurting over the fact that the relic that has been in this place for so long is still in a damaged state. But at least he it appears that he's at least chippered up a bit.
Vika just pats him on the shoulder, but it comes out probably a bit heavy-handed.
Don't.
Not intentionally, just 7-foot tall minotaur patting you on the shoulder. All right. Is there anything else that we can assist you with?
He nods his head like, no, I can't ask for any more help from visitors. We'll just continue to clean up this place and try to get it back to proper working order before the sermon tonight.
Is no problem. Is very little for us to do for the day, yes? I look around at everyone else.
Yeah, no, I don't. We're just, frankly, trying to kill time before the festival starts. Is that what it is? A festival?
he shakes his head. He's like, "Oh, right, the weekly festival." Just lets out a long sigh.
Seem flabbergasted about that too. Everybody seems to be.
He shakes his like it was a good idea when we started this a few years back, and it really got people hopeful, but it just doesn't seem like it does anything as of late. Kind of seems like the fun and excitement of a festival should bring is now commonplace, so it's not as special as it once was.
That is problem with too much of a good thing, yes?
He nods his
Don't know
head.
what that's like.
Alright. Is anything else we can help with?
He kind of just shakes his head. He's just kind of murmuring over the fact that he has to now see about contacting the local stockyard and see about getting some replacement pews for seating or chairs, or ask anyone for spare stuff at this point to kind of furnish the church for the elderly who come to pray so they don't have to stand all the time.
Alright. So, what now? Look at everyone else in our group.
Well, we've got time to kill. Is there anything that needs being done?
Yep. Irina and Ismark are just going to help out with just getting the church reorganized and getting it properly set up. They said that Irina makes the comment that she feels a bit of tranquility and peace by being here, and it's the first time she's felt that since before Strahd's attack. So she's just gonna enjoy the reprieve from the terror that she's been dealing with.
All right. Did we want to talk to the burgomaster about any of our plans about everything we're doing?
We could try, or we could ask him about the man he um lawfully arrested.
Are you guys saying that within earshot of Irina and Ismark, or huddled outside the church, or
Yeah, I don't think we want to talk to them about it.
Yeah, I think it was more just to the group.
gotcha?
It does seem a bit off to me that he was taken just for speaking out.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
doesn't seem right.
the rules around this place are weird.
And there is no good choice between either of the people who want to rule this place. Belzen. I mean, to be frank, and Vika glances around, make sure that there's no one within earshot. If there had been any possible alternative other than the current Burgermeister or Lady Wachter, I would not have been so opposed to some sort of extreme civil disobedience.
I hear what you're saying, but I don't know. It's not our place, I think, to right all the political wrongs in this city.
Well, like I said, without leader, the government collapses and all that is left is chaos, and that will hurt more people worse than even a tyrant.
Are we still telepathically connected by chance? I mean, even through Lynn, I
I,
don't know.
I didn't
The-
reset it for the day.
Yeah, it's the next day, so no, I don't think so.
Okay, never mind then. I'm just gonna sigh really loudly.
What is it, boy? What do you have to say?
Is Timmy in the well again?
We
I
are
wish you
all
guys
stupid
could see the
together.
face he just gave me.
I'm guessing it's like the one that I get every day.
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh, and there it is.
If we do our job, things are going to course correct. People will have mobility. They'll be able to leave if they are under a terrible regime. Isn't that the ultimate goal here?
It is our ultimate goal. What we are the big picture. We are not here to figure out which one of these politicos are going to be able to have their little bit of power and get the people to like feel good about them being the ones in charge. The problem is that they are upset at how they're handling the big looming threat of apocalypse over their heads. So what we are going to do is remove the threat of apocalypse,
Yes.
and then they will be able to deal with that on their own.
So, on that note, is there anything that we should be doing today to prepare for us taking another step toward getting rid of that looming apocalypse?
I don't think so. Um, when is the festival?
Tomorrow?
Yeah, the next day.
So, festival is tomorrow. We enact our plan tomorrow to steal sword. Vika once again looks around. Or weapon or whatever it was. Some sort of tool.
Some sort of tool.
What was it? It was something. Hang on. Sword of Sunlight. The Sword of Sunlight. We could go over plan for what we want to do after we steal the sword. There were other places.
Right. So what is our plan once we are done sowing anarchy in Valaki? Where will we go from here?
Where else must we sow our chaos?
I am here for it.
There was place with dragon. Argenis
Argon.
was old.
Yeah, I've got to look up the pronunciation of that.
Trying to do that with a Vika voice is very difficult. Argenovosot. Argenovosot?
Yeah, sure.
That's the word. Is place with a holy symbol of hope.
All right.
And there was history and information about Strad in Place of Bones.
Place of Bones.
It was Abbey of Saint Markovia in Krezik.
In Krezik.
Yes. So Argenvoselt and Krezik.
All right. Krezik is off to the west from here. And Argenvolsolt is... I have no idea.
So it's good to stop at Krezik, and perhaps we should ask around for Argenvoselt.
Well, let's see if Ismark or Arena know that. Let's go back. Since we're sitting around the church, let's
Yeah.
go back inside. They're the people we know.
Okay, so as
Yes,
you guys go back into the church, you can all roll me a perception check.
Oh, and I've wasted my natural 20.
19.
Uh-oh.
25.
What are we rolling?
Perception.
Perception.
And Lucy rolls a 21.
So, as you guys were talking about your plan, you can see that the young man outside, uh, Milivoj, Milivoj, Milivoj? You can see that in the midst of him actually shoveling, broken wood and stuff, you can kind of see him kind of prodding the ground as he does that. Just just enough to kind of give you the hint that he is not just trying to move debris, but he's appears like he is searching for something in the ground itself.
And who notices this?
Anyone who rolled over a 13.
Damn.
So that's what Vika, Tilda, Quinn.
Lucy, Quinn.
Quinn.
Quinn didn't know shit.
Oh, okay, sorry. I saw a 17. That was, I guess, you rolling for Lucy.
Yeah.
Friend, are you looking for something? Did you lose something in the scuffle?
He kind of panics for a quick second, like, just try to see if there might have been a loose coin or maybe something of value.
Do you require help?
He kind of shakes his head. It's like, no, I'd rather not try to get you guys involved in potentially a petty theft crime.
What petty theft? If left on ground is not theft, it's just fine.
Already involved in enough crime.
Oh,
I do not know what you are talking about. We are not involved in any crime. We are law-abiding visitors.
he
Yeah.
shakes
So
his.
you're just looking for loose change, and there's no like nothing like hidden or buried under here that you think like might be of any consequence.
He shakes his head and goes, no, you know, he's just kind of mumbling to himself. He's like, I'm just trying to.
Insight check.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not great at this. I rolled a 9.
I will get it on that. I'm good at insight checks. I get advantage. 19.
Okay, Quinn doesn't see it, but Vika does. As he tries to say that he is just trying to find loose change or trinkets that he could sell to feed his family, he's actually looking for something else that of higher value.
Are you certain there is nothing we can assist you with, friend?
Go ahead and roll me persuasion. Let's see if you can get it out of him.
Oof, 12.
Oh, well, that's actually enough. He lets out a very long sigh. He's like, I'm not proud of it, but I was promised that if I were to find the bones of St. Andrew that is somewhere on this property, someone would pay me enough money to feed my family for at least the next 2 years. It's a fool's errand, but look, there's not a lot of ways to make coin out here, and who cares if a bunch of bones get moved, right? They ain't gonna need it. They're already dead. I can at least feed my family, right?
It is noble to want to feed one's loved ones, but theft is not good. It leads down very bad road, and desecration of remains is asking for something unpleasant.
And you know there are things like vampires and ghosts in this world, right?
He nods his head like, yeah, I mean, among other things.
Yeah, you want to get haunted forever for this? Is that going to be worth it?
He goes, well, it's either that or we starve. Not exactly great options.
I mean, there's other ways to make money.
He chuckles. He's like, if there was, I wouldn't be doing this.
I have question, yes? Are you familiar with this Krezek?
Krezek? You mean that town west of here?
We picked up a map from the
Yeah.
Stani, didn't we? Vika unfurls the map. We are looking for safe route to Krezek, yes? Could you point out where to go?
He kind of looks at you. It's like, safe road here in Barovia? That's
Well,
funny.
relatively. I mean, better than traipsing through forest filled with lots of unpleasantness, yes? Relatively safe.
Well, you could try the Raven River Crossroads, and he just points. It's the most direct route from here to Krezek, and he just points like you go over. He points over, so you go over the bridge over the Luna River. Keep following that path until you go over another bridge just south of Lake Baratok, and from there it's a short route all the way to Krezek.
Excellent. And one more. Argen Vos Hot is temple, yes? We are looking for it and cannot find it on our map.
He kind of raises both his eyebrows like, "You don't go there. That place is cursed."
Um,
Buddy, does it look like we care about those curses?
such things are our business. We are cleansers of curses and hunters of monsters.
He lets out a long ass like, "Oh, I should go to the bar and take a poll on this one, see what the odds are." He kind of just shakes his head. He's like, "Well, if you're looking for a death wish, you can take the same path over the Luna River, and you have two choices. One, you can take the game path down south once you get past the river and just follow the banks of the Luna River, and it'll be on the hill to the west of that. Or you can go through the same path, and when you get to a fork leading to the south or to the west, you can take the road south, and it'll take you directly there."
I see. So it is this speck on the map just west of the Luna River, south of south southeast of Lake Bartok.
He nods his head.
All right.
All right, so we marked those down, and Vika thanks him.
What's
And
this curse on it? Like, what do you know about some curse?
yes,
Well, legend has it that a dragon came here to take on Strahd, and fortunately, he didn't succeed, and now him and his followers now haunt the place.
That sounds foreboding.
A place that once offered respite and protection, now a haunted reminder of what happens when you cross Strahd.
Um, I have a quick question for you too before we get along our way. Um, do you know Isaac Strasny at all?
He kind of looks at you. He's like, "Ezek, the strongman for the Burgomaster?"
If that's what you want to call him, yeah. I guess that's just a name that I came across.
He nods. He's like, yeah, he caused trouble and he comes for you. Pretty quickly, I may add.
Where does he frequent during the day?
It's usually with the Burgomaster himself or coming down and arresting some poor sap for insulting his master. Usually one of the two. He doesn't really do a whole lot of mingling with the folks.
He's usually staying at the house or something like that.
Typically, yes.
What about during these festivals? I know they've been having them. Yeah, I'm sure you attend them since you're, such a enterprising lad around these parts.
Well, he's usually the chief of security at the event, making sure that people don't get too rowdy.
Well, tell me about that. Where does he usually find himself during that time?
Well, early on in the day, just check out the crowd, and later on in the day, probably buy the wine and the beer.
You don't think that he has like a particular patrol or anything that he does?
He laughs like, nah. He he has his lackeys do most of the actual work. He's just there to save face. Or take the glory when it comes to pinning some poor townsfolk to the ground for interrupting festivities.
Well, that was mildly helpful. I reach into my pocket and I look up at Vika. I was going to pay him some money. I think you were going to do that too. Do you think you could cover my tip there?
Yeah, Vika nods, and pulls out the last of her 4 gold and hands it over to the kid.
Oof.
Shit, you're broker than me. That's. I mean, I don't have any money.
Whatever. I have the pack too. I can give him more. I'll give him another 6 gold. So 10 gold.
4 gold is fine. I just.
No, 10 gold. Like I said, I'm dealing with the group loot stuff, so I have.
That's shmoney.
This guy's rich.
Yeah.
He's not rich, but we did try to prevent him from doing something that would have paid his family's food budget for years, apparently. There are other ways to make money that do not require doing something against one's better judgment. Yes?
He nods his head and he starts crying.
Is good, and Vika gives him shoulder pat. Everyone in Velaki gets shoulder pat. They all have bruised arms and dislocated shoulders. But is okay.
Yeah,
That's okay. You can compensate him for his
injury.
Yeah.
I turn on my psychic whispers. One target does 3. I'll hit Vika, Quinn, and let's do the bird since that was nice for him to be able to talk. Sorry for making. I just thought it might be a good idea to make it actually seem like we're questioning about this guy. In fact, I probably want to spend the rest of the day scouting him out, making it seem like we're sizing him up or doing something of that nature. If somebody's actually watching us, I don't want people thinking that we're like, oh yeah, we're just completely ignoring this whole thing, and that like, yeah.
No, it's good. Alright. Does anyone else have anything to ask about location? Did we get all of the things that we need to do? Found
There are
our
5.
ally. Sword of sunlight. Holy symbol of hope was in the dragon's house.
Where's it at in the thing? I actually can't find it in the campaign info.
What thing? Like the thing I'm
Our-
talking about? just now?
Our stuff, like the card draws and everything.
Oh, instead
Um,
of pins. Their campaign info,
Aha.
pins, 6 of glyphs. So yeah, I thought there are 5. Treasure lies in the dragon's house. We have that. Look for a wealthy woman, staunch ally of the devil. She keeps the treasure under lock and key with the bones of an ancient enemy. That's not foreboding. Find the leader of the feathered ones. We got him. He waits for you in a place of wisdom, warmth, and despair. Great secrets are there. I don't. That one, I don't know.
that one is about the enemy.
Okay.
The one about the enemy is the seer. The ally was the raven. The sword of sunlight was the traitor. The holy symbol of hope is the avenger. And information about Strahd is the anarchist.
And where is the anarchist? Do we
That
know?
was Krezk.
Krezk. Okay. The anarchist is Krezk. And the avenger is
Argon Vosholt.
Argon Vosholt. And we don't know about the Strahd thing?
We do not.
That seems very vague.
It does. There was also one other thing that we were told, that there was a guy outside of the castle. There was a great wizard who fell after a massive battle with Strahd and into a chasm outside of his castle. That did not go along with any of the tarot readings. That was just something that we were told.
By whom? By the Vistani?
Yes. So there is something to be said for us looking around in a chasm outside of Castle Ravenloft
Okay.
for something about the wizard. At least that is what I have written in my notes.
All right. Well, one thing at a time. Let's get this. Let's get this bread.
Yes.
All right. So Lyndon, staring, prolonged eye contact style at Lyndon.
Yeah.
You wanted to scope out this dude who we had basically gotten hired to put a hit out on.
Yeah, I just figured I'd go back to I'd go to the burgomaster's place, kind of skulk around, see if he pops his head out. Sneaky enough that we're not found, but at the same time, what if she has a scry or something? I don't know. That's
We never laid eyes on this guy, did we?
I don't think so.
No.
Did we already walked away from the kid, right?
Yeah.
You can
So,
if you want to, yeah.
10, 20 steps away, Vika suddenly stops and looks at everyone else and says, "Wait, he said someone hired him to do it. Should we have looked into that?"
I mean, we got a day to kill.
There.
I mean, it's sort of sketchy that someone wants to steal bones of Saint. Right? Am I the only one?
Maybe the bones could help.
Hey, I'm the one that's fascinated by the guy with his monkey. So, you're not wrong. But honestly, do you mind if I skedaddle? I'll like I said, I should probably begin the charade for the day.
Sure, if you think you'll be good on your own. I don't want to make a spectacle of anything.
No,
Because he already knows.
I'm not going to be spectacular. I'm going to be sneaky.
All right.
And then I jet off.
How far is the distance on this whole thinking thing?
1 mile.
Oh, okay. We should be fine, probably.
Let me go pull my map of Velaki.
It is basically 1 mile across, from far end to far end.
Yeah, he should be fine.
So I guess after that, Vika's gonna trump back over to the kid who was digging through stuff. Just out of curiosity, yes. Who would hire someone to steal bones?
He kind of goes and he looks up. He's like, "Oh, the local coffin maker, Henrik Van der Voort. Blah. Let me put that in the
Can
chat
you
for you.
spell that out?
Yeah, I'll throw it in the campaign info here in a sec.
Heinrich!
Oh, the local coffin maker's looking for bones to put in. What? He has enough people dying coming his way. Does he really need to find bones to put inside those?
Yeah, that's yeah, he was hired by him to steal the bones, and he was gonna pay him money to help feed his family for doing that deed.
Okay, there is something odd about that. All right. Thank you. And next time someone wants you to steal something for money, mm, consider it. Consider what will happen to your family if you are not there to take care of them anymore because you are in jail. Yes.
He nods his head.
There is nothing worse than losing your family.
I can attest to that.
Yes. Many of us can. All right. So, Lyndon has scampered off somewhere. So, what to do now?
Well, we could go rough up this Heinrich person. Wait, I mean, polite conversation.
Please do, please do.
All right. So, let us go have chat with this local coffin maker.
All right, let's go and find the local coffin maker.
Okay. And what do you know? I actually have the map for this done. Do do do. All right. So this map is play original. So you guys can go ahead and load the coffin maker shop.
Cool. I will see you in 2 years.
Yep.
Yep. So, 20 minutes later.
Actually, I should have everyone's token still copied. Yep. Oh, I've got to delete out two, sadly.
So, anyone have good idea on how to quest in coffin maker without running risk of him taking a revenge on Milo? How to say name? Miliovashi? No, seriously, how do we say his name?
Milivoj?
Milivoj.
Milivoj, yes.
Milivos.
Milivoj.
Milivos.
Um, well, we could, I don't know. We can kill him and that's all the problems.
Alright, this uninviting shop is 2 stories tall and has a sign shaped like a coffin above the front door. All the window shutters are closed up tight and a deathly silence surrounds the establishment.
Quaint. I politely knock on the door.
You hear an old man.
Still not loaded into the map.
Oh, yeah, as you knock on the door, you just hear a very muffled and hoarse say, "Go away! Leave me alone!"
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a bother, but I was at the church this morning, and I was poking around the outside of it, and I came across some bones, and I thought that might be of some level of interest to you.
Did you hear me? We're closed. Go away.
I don't know. These things look like they're pretty valuable.
The response is complete silence.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Aha! It is loaded. Alright, so what from here? Do we just take this as sign and leave? Or am I breaking down door? Or is Tilda breaking down door? We could flip coin.
I'm not sure that breaking down the gentleman's door and breaking into his establishment is really going to solve any of our problems. But it might.
I mean, we have gone all day without breaking something. I am getting rather bored. Tilda?
I'm always up for breaking stuff. Break stuff first, apologize later.
Vika pulls out a coin from the group's sack of money. All right. Heads you break door, tails I break door.
Sounds good to me.
All right. There is no coin flip option for D&D Beyond.
No, you roll a d4 and
Yeah.
yeah, that's about the best you can do.
So odd you, tails, or odd you, and even me. Tails.
You know, the gentleman just wanted to open the door and have a polite conversation. We wouldn't be in this spot, but...
All right, Tilda. And Vika steps away and bows and kind of gestures at the door. It's all you.
Oh god. Go ahead and roll me a athletics check.
16.
We're good people.
Oh god. Yeah, that poor door didn't have a chance.
I'm just gonna kick it. And like gesture for everyone else to go inside.
Excellent technique.
Thank you.
Yeah, that poor guy just kind of falls over backwards and he goes, "Oh, monsters! He's come for me. I knew it."
No, we're not. Well, some of us are monsters, but that's not what we're here for. Who's
It's okay,
coming for you?
Vin. Do not need to talk bad about yourself like that.
I mean, I'm a little bit of a monster.
Have you taken your
Cheers.
concoction yet today?
I have not taken my concoction today.
All right. Sorry. Are interrupting.
So, who's coming for you?
He's taking a second. His eyes are wide. He's sweating. He's like, "Vasil von Holtz."
Vassal von Holtz?
Sorry, Vasily von Holtz.
Vasily von Holtz.
Vasily.
Vasily.
Vasily. We are waiting.
I have
for
come
Vasily.
for Vasily. I'm glad I wasn't the only one who thought that. I am waiting for Vasily. Okay, so why would he have sent a whole bunch of rough and tumble characters to kick your door down? I mean, that's what we are and that's what we did, so.
How are you asking? Are you trying to persuade him or intimidate him?
Let me see. Doesn't fucking matter. Intimidating.
Okay.
To help with this, Vika is looming over him and just staring down. You said he fell to the floor, right?
Yeah.
So Vika stomps a hoof like heavily right
Jesus.
next to his head and just stares down at him.
You are the Brute Squad.
I'm on the brute squad.
You are the Brute
When she
Squad.
stomps down, I want to cast Mage Hand and like knock some stuff around.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so who's rolling intimidation?
Yeah, whoever does it, roll with advantage at this point. Jesus. Freaking guy's gonna die of a heart attack from shock and fear.
I assumed that we
Tilda,
were.
did you want to get in on this at all?
Oh, hell yeah.
I would like for you to roll.
I
You
assume
do
that
not want
Lucy
me to
is.
roll.
I assume that Lucy is deeply concerned about all of this and is also going to. Does she have guidance?
She does.
So she guidances whoever's making our roll.
Well, Matilda rolled, but she would roll with advantage if
Advantage.
we're helping.
Oh,
so
yeah.
roll again.
And with guidance, because Lucy is going to guidance you, even though she would be morally opposed. She's not here to say
She'll be
otherwise.
alright.
So
So
add
roll
a
a
d4.
D4.
Better.
Add a d4.
There you go.
There it is, 22.
Alright, anyone have any heightened senses like nasal or sound or anything like that?
Not specifically.
Yeah, not specifically.
Okay.
I mean, other
Okay.
than is
Yep.
cow.
So we do not hear or smell whatever happened in his trousers, I'm
Right.
guessing.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It's bad, but not to the point where you're gagging or anything from enhanced smell, at least. Yeah. He goes about this. well, well. A few nights ago, I was down on my luck, as no one desires to hang out with me because of my work. They think that, well, being a well, I wouldn't say a merchant of death itself, but death accessories. I don't get a lot of charitable well, visitors. Until one night, there was this well-dressed nobleman named Vasily von Holtz, and he promised me good business in exchange for some help. I swear, all he wanted for me to do was get the bones from the church, and once once that happens, I would be safe from whatever things would happen, and I get paid handsomely, and I can leave this town that shuns me.
To go to another town where you can get shunned by a brand new set of people.
But at least I'll be rich.
I mean, yeah, but if the smell is any indication, probably not in friends. I'm sorry, I have no need to be mean to you.
He just kind of is like, see, my point exactly. No one respects the man who has to do what needs to be done.
Here's the thing, yes? Is not problem for me who makes coffin is necessary, is unpleasant but necessary. The problem is dragging an innocent boy and trying to steal from church. These are not good things. This is what make you unpleasant, yes?
He
Also,
looks,
who said they would be giving you all this business? Like, that sounds ominous if someone was like, hey, I'm going to be giving the coffin maker all the business.
he pulls out a small patch. He's like, Vasily gave this to me, and well, got some weight to it. Figure if the man's willing just to give this as an advance on payment, it's got to be loaded.
And deeply suspicious, yes?
He shrugs. He's like, it's like, what? Gold is gold. Not a lot of it in this town.
So it does not matter to you that business picking up means that there will be many people dying.
He picks himself up on the floor and starts working on his tools. He's like, do you know how many orders I fill out a week here? No? He pulls out a small parchment. This week, I had a mom die giving birth. This one, kid died of an illness. This one, old age. This one, death from a werewolf out visiting in the woods. Sorry, werewolf attack in the woods. He's like, death's is everyday occurrence.
Sounds like business is plenty good already.
Huh. Well, that's if people would pay me more than just in thanks and prayers and whatever scraps they have. Ugh, not worth the time sometimes.
It's not as though they are not paying you because they do not want to. This whole town is starving.
He's like, yep, why I didn't mind the extra coin, because then I can just get out of here. Her Barovia is nice this time of year.
Barovia is no better.
He kind of just puts down the parchment down, and he's like, if you don't have any other business here, I suggest you leave. I've got work to get done.
Where can we find this Vasily?
He scratches. You could kind of see him think about it, and all of a sudden there's a blind, kind of a blind stare that he has for a few seconds, and he's like, "Sorry, what was that?"
We are looking for Vasily. We want to know why he is after all of this nonsense.
His eyes go blank again for a few seconds, and he again's like, "Sorry, I missed that. What were you saying?"
Vika walks over to him, picks him up by the collar of his shirt, and holds him up. Where is Vasily?
And again, his look just goes into a blank stare, and then he's like, "Why am I up in the air? What's going on? What was the question?"
I feel like there's some sort of arcane chicanery going on here.
Quinn, can you figure this out? This is your area of expertise.
Have I heard of any sort of undead creature or magical beastie that can like ensorcel men's minds to forget things like this?
You can go roll me a arcane check or arcana.
Arcana check.
Yeah.
1 second. Um, does this have anything to do with any sort of fey, fiend, or undead?
Uh, I guess I should ask the proto question. Are you asking if a creature ability is doing this, or are you looking to see what type of creature may have done that to him? I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I know. I'm trying to roll this Arcana check to see if I know if there's any sort of thing that can do this. If it has anything to do with fey, fiends, or undead, I would roll at advantage.
Okay. Yeah, you can go roll with advantage then.
All right, that'll be a 21 then.
Yeah. So with that roll, you know that from through your hunter network and training that sometimes vampires and other creatures of the night may put in some sort of compulsory spell or um, mental blocks to prevent their minions from selling them out. So what you're seeing here is you're just seeing this poor guy kind of just having his mind wiped out anytime that he's being asked about this particular person.
I see. Oh, well. Yeah, no, I think holding him up by the scruff of the neck and yelling at him is not going to help you find the information. I think that it's been kind of blanked from his mind. So we can put him down.
Vika sets him down.
All right. Well, we'll have to try and find someone else who knows something about him. He said that he had hired him to.
Then how did he tell us about them in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe it was very specifically if he was asked about locations and how to find someone that he would not be able to give that information.
Do they need to be close by or something to do this?
No, they kind of like leave it in like a just like a post hypnotic suggestion sort of thing. So I don't know. We can canvass the town, see if anybody else that we've spoken to knows anything about this Vasily.
Should we look around this place? I mean, if this Vasily wanted him to get these bones, he must have way to contact him, yes?
Probably. We can check with Milivosh and see if he knows anything about it.
Oh, he seemed to believe that it was Henrik who wanted it.
Right.
Henrik, when you get bones, how do you give them to person who wanted them?
Or what was your plan when you got the bones? What were you going to do?
Oh, he basically just it was kind of uh, like a switch was flipped up. He's like, oh, well, that was simple. I just put it into a coffin and just put it outside. I said, and he'll take care of it.
All right. Matilda, would you like to politely ask the gentleman if we could make use of one of his coffins then?
Sure. Can we borrow one of these for a little while?
He kind of looks you up. He's like, are you asking or telling?
I guess that'll depend on your answer.
He kind of
May
spits.
we use one?
He just spits on the ground. He's like, grumbles, and he's like, just don't take one of the nice ones. He just points. He just points back into the back over here. He's like, you can take anyone that is either kind of in process or not exactly of high craftsmanship, but leave the nice one for the townsfolk.
Okay, we can do that.
Vika tosses 2 silver onto his table.
Yeah, he's actually kind of surprised by that, and he gives you a nod and a thanks.
It's compensation for, the door.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, a little bit. Also, not thieves.
Oh, that's yeah, that's actually pretty fair.
I'm trying to be consistent. Not big on thievery.
We're not thieves. Well, we are, but we're not taking what's his. So here's the money that he gave us in advance.
Yeah, I mean, you can
You
go
take
back
it back
to
to him.
yeah, you can see that he has quite a few coffins made, some of them hastily made and kind of just put together just in the general pattern. Other ones have a finish to them and smooth, and others have like an effigy of the sun on it. You can tell that some were very much rough work in progress, and others look like that they've been made with some some love and care, I guess you can say, for lack of a better word.
I'm going to look over all the coffins and see which one I see that looks like it is the most pristine, the best craftsmanship, the one that has the most heart, soul, and love put into it. And I want to point to that one and say, okay, Vika, go ahead and take that one. That's the shitty one.
Vika tosses another silver onto the desk and grabs it.
He kind of just sighs and he just accepts the money graciously, and it's like, that was a week worth of work for the poor widow's husband who died in the flood last week. Oh well, Time to make another one.
Why does the poor widow get the? Never mind. I don't want to know about your social life. So carry on.
Okay. So Vika walks out with coffin over shoulder.
That's right. I just invented the fact that this dude's banging the widow after her husband died.
Wow.
Man, that is grim.
Yeah, it has.
You have to get into
things.
this business for a reason.
Yeah.
And apparently banging the widows is the reason.
God damn.
Well, I mean, they're widows now. It's not like they can afford to get coffins. Oh,
Well,
God.
money maybe not, but there are ways to pay.
Wow.
I was trying to
Mm,
think of how to incorporate it. Good job, sir.
Oh, boy. Okay. I don't feel good about most of
I just invented the world's newest profession.
those poor widows and orphans.
Okay. Well, we're going to take the coffin, close it up, and put it outside. And I will stare. I will make prolonged eye contact with the air, and tell Lyndon. So we did a thing, and we're probably going to be staking out this place tonight to see if some brain-altering, potentially vampire-adjacent, at least, thing comes looking for this saint's bones.
Also, I know you have certain things about certain things, but how do you feel about small, dark, enclosed places?
What?
I'm so glad that someone figured that out.
I'm just trying to hide and scout, and you're asking me to go into a small black hole.
Not the
Is that what
hole.
you're asking me to do?
Not the hole. Just small, dark, enclosed space. How do you feel? Is problem for you?
Unfortunately, at this time, I think this is the most presidential thing. But how do I feel about it? Let me think. When we first came here, I walked around every corner, and I thought my corpse was hiding inside of all. I believe there was like a stone. I think I came across like a stone sarcophagus, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So I mean, as long as it's not like a stone sarcophagus, maybe I'll be okay.
As long as not stone sarcophagus, yes?
Well, what are you implying?
Phil, what if not stone sarcophagus, but is...
Wooden coffin, it's fine.
It's not stone.
What are you? Listen, I'm doing this thing. I'll let you know how it goes. If
How
you
is
really
it
need me,
going, by the way?
if I don't know because I haven't really been told anything by my prescient force that talks to me.
That thing's the best.
Oh yes, it's I sometimes I have these gaps,
I'll be right back.
So anyway, Linda, as you're having this conversation, you're outside are you on the? Where would you say that you start your stakeout? Or you would be on the kind of the exterior of the household, watching from a safe distance, or close up to it?
The exterior. I don't think I need to be too close.
Okay. So as you're looking at the establishment, you see a couple of guards periodically come through with some poor sap that is bound and sometimes gagged, depending on the how I put it, the spirit of the person that they have. You After about a couple people going in and out, you finally see at the door. You finally see the Burgomeister's right hand man, and you can tell that with one of the particular people, he is furious. Go ahead and roll me a perception roll.
All right, that's like a perception roll. I'm just taking that roll. I rolled a 22.
Okay. So it's you can kind of read the lips, even though the audio is very low. With reading the lips, you can see Isaac kind of spouting out something to the effect of, "I've told you for the 10th time to stop bringing them here. We already have the shoemaker in here, and that's already causing issues. We don't have any room here. Take them to the gallows with the rest of them, and we'll process him like we've done the others. Stop bringing people here. We don't need to have people know that the Burgomeister actually houses prisoners in his own residence."
Well, that's cute. So this person that's barking these commands, does he look like? How does he look? Is he scary, intimidating, or?
Yeah, Ezek is a pretty monstrous man. He's pretty much the tall, brooding, muscular type. You know, what for lack of a better expression, a chest as big as a barrel. And you can definitely tell that he has quite a few scars on his arms to show that he's not afraid of getting his hands dirty in that sense as well.
Looks like he's dealt with some monsters himself.
Yeah, let me see if I've got an actual portrait of him to share. Copy. I got a headshot of him, so. Oh, point of note. Um, uh, oh, and that's the other thing with your perception roll. You can tell that he is a man who doesn't have his soul in comparison to what you've seen with other people.
I mean, I thought we were under the impression that most people around here don't have a soul. You're saying like his soul is especially black.
Yeah, well, his coloring is duller compared to others, so you can tell that he was one of the people born without a soul here in Barovia.
Oh, okay. He's one of those
Yeah,
awful
and he doesn't have a
people.
yeah he doesn't have a right arm either.
Oh, he's only got one arm.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's easy. Oh yeah, he's a big guy. All right. Um. Yeah. So they're going. They said they're going off to the gallows. They're dragging some poor sap. Does it look like anybody that we know?
Just looks like some poor townsfolk who had enough of the stuff and decided to speak out. You are noticing though that there is something under his cloak that he wears over his body. You can tell that his cloak is moving in a certain odd way, but you're not able to discern what it is underneath his cloak.
Is Isaac's cloak?
Yeah, Isaac's cloak. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, all right. Do I know where the gallows is?
Uh, from when you've been walking around town, you can tell that they're not too far off from the main town square.
Okay. And you're saying they've been dragging people out there?
Yeah, once in a while, as you guys been walking.
Is what I've heard.
Yeah, you see people just kind of in the stocks out there, just kind of, with the shameful sign saying, spoke against the Burgomeister and disturbing the peace.
When we were in town, we were in the town square. There was people in the in the stocks and stuff already.
Yeah,
Okay. So this is public knowledge. He's not trying to keep it secret.
right. Not the fact that he's imprisoning people or trying to shame people.
But this, what is it? This cobbler, the shoe cobbler. He is not out there. They
No.
still have him inside.
Yeah, they have him inside the Burgomeister's residence.
Oh, that's curious. All right. Well, that's about par for his course at this point. Well, I'll keep staying posted out here, and then I'll psionically. I guess I'll look off into the distance longingly for the members of my group. Hey, hello. So I have some attainable information now at this point that might prove you. I don't know if it's really used. Once again, it's just scouting. Once again, I'm just trying to pretend we're doing our job, but it pertained to what was happening earlier. This is Strasny fella, who's a mite pretty awful looking fella. Apparently, he's missing an arm, so we got that going for us if we have to deal with him. But it seems as though they've been capturing people and putting them inside of the burgomaster's house, which I find a bit weird because we were in there. I didn't really notice anything of that nature. Unless Lucy or Tilda saw anything like that going up above. I'm sure there's some type of basement down below, though, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. Lucy, Tilda, when you were in house, did you see any sign of prisoners at the burgomaster's residence?
I don't think so.
Because apparently they're bringing prisoners there to keep them, which is kind of weird.
That's very weird. There was no sign of anything.
All right, I tell Lyndon. They did not see anything either.
Well, apparently he was reprimanding his people because he's telling them he's tired of people coming to the burgomaster's house. Apparently, most of the people they end up at the gallows in the stockade, which we kind of saw in the town square. I'm not sure if that kind of rung a bell as we were going through. I know we were not really sure if we were going through the town square at all, but it's a really cheery place, of course. But yeah, this is Strasny. I think I have him pegged, so we could kind of keep our eye out for him. He's a quite intimidating fellow. The ladies wasn't lying. I can see that they're afraid of him. There's something about his cloak too. I can't really make it out.
I'm starting to wonder if there is anyone in these towns that is not a bad person.
Yeah, we should start talking to more people. That's what I think. I mean, that Rictavio fella, he didn't seem too bad.
No, I'm certain that he was a liar and a thief or something else too. Probably a murderer, because apparently everyone in this town is.
I'm just saying, from the conversation I had with him, he didn't seem like an immediate person who I was like, oh, ew, he actually seemed like a person that's, worth talking to. But yeah, I mean, I understand the feeling. I mean, I'm sure I can only imagine what you just did just now. I mean, if you're asking me to get into a coffin, I can't really.
We just spoke to a young man who was looking to steal bones of saint from church because men offered him money. Then found man who offered money, who hired young boy to steal bones of saint from church, who was hired by other man to hire the other man to steal bones of saint from church.
I mean, it's just so much easier if you look the other way, I believe. But not that I'm saying we should look the other way. I can understand why some of these people here look the other way. That's all I'm trying to say.
But bones of saint from church.
I mean, clearly there's some value if it there. I mean, can you imagine what a saint of this land would be? I mean, I'm not really quite sure. Like everybody here gets corrupted in some way. So I mean, if you're a saint of this land, I mean, you've got to be rare.
Which makes it worse.
Oh, true. I mean, I'm just saying there's some value to. Liz, I'm gonna stay here if you need me here. But if you really need me to come back and do something, I'm just gonna make sure there's nothing else strange going on out here. I just assume once again, if we had the option, if we really wanted to get that cobbler free, we could do that. But once again, I think we're trying to stay out of these affairs.
is not good, though, that they're keeping prisoners in Burgermeister's house and just murdering others.
Yeah, well, it's bad. Listen, the whole place is bad. We're familiar with this. The place will be less bad when the world is less bad. I have a fervent belief.
My
Like I
my
said,
hope for that is fading fast.
well,
I'm inclined to agree.
I am typically person with positive hope for people, with faith in people, but I am finding this faith is not surviving well in this city.
Oh, how about we just focus on taking down Strahd and spend less time trying to do politics?
Is not
well, this
poli-
is
this is part of Strahd. Is apparently vampire who is behind this stealing of bones.
Yeah, that we're dealing with. But like the burgomaster being sucky, like that's not our place to like fix like him.
That's
We're not
exactly
here to
my point.
we're not here to kill. We're not here to stop all the thieves and brigands and murderers running around the city. We would be
I haven't
lost
said
in the
that.
forest.
I haven't said that. If we had to deal with Isaac Strasny to create a distraction, this would be a great way to do it. We could go into the house and free these people, and then he'd be like, running around. He's like, where are all these innocent people? I need to wrangle them up and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, I'm just saying that could be a potential plan, but I don't think that's something we're actually trying to do. But if we needed a distraction, I think that'd be a bloody good one. Anyways, if you need me to come back and hop in your wooden coffin, I don't know why we're doing that. But if that's something that you need me to do, just let me know. I'm going to stay out here for the time being and see if I can learn anything else about Strasny.
All right. Well, I'm thinking that it's probably going to be tonight when that happens. So we will probably find a place to post up here. And if things happen sooner than that, we'll let you know.
Is this
Cool.
a great
Yeah,
idea to do tonight? I'm just thinking that if we do this tonight, isn't that gonna make us really tired for tomorrow?
Well, we are not doing stuff tomorrow until night as well. We can sleep in a bit.
As long as I can sleep.
Yeah, the plan is to sleep tonight. At some point.
All right. So plan is Linton keeps staking out Isaac and the rest of the group stakes out Coffin, yes?
Yep.
All right. Is stake out tonight.
There will be no vampire jokes made based off of that statement.
Damn.
I was actually thinking about going with an actual steak thing and the cow bringing it up.
Steak night.
Yes, the cow is bringing up stakes, and by stakes, she means the piece of wooden, piece of wood, sharpened wood that you plunge into a vampire's chest. Anyway, moving on.
So we're going to. So we're going to have Vika doing the stakeout on the top of the highest roof that we can find, so the stakes could not be higher.
I hate everything.
I wish you could see how much of a sad face that Preview has right now for that. It is fantastic.
Understandable.
All right.
For the
So-
stakeout, I would like to try to hide my ring somewhere, wherever we're doing this.
Can put the ring in Coffin. I was just thinking little man in coffin, and then vampire shows up and opens coffin, and then surprise, motherfucker.
Oh,
I more wanted to stand near in case I heard something. Like I could hear
Yeah.
everything outside of the ring, so I want to, or not, yeah, outside of the ring. So I just wanted to
Yeah.
be near the coffin, so I could, if I'm in the coffin, I can't hear that shit as well. So
So we can put you like under the coffin or something.
preferably not. Like, sure, whatever, as long as I can hear.
Behind coffin.
Cough, cough.
okay.
Alright.
Yeah, Lyndon, for the rest of the afternoon, you don't really see any more. Excuse me. You don't see really any other unusual activity aside from the fact that the gals who were in there for the daily tea for the tea time and stuff like that finally leave at the end of the day, and Ezek just kind of slams the door, and as he's kind of disgruntled, like, I've got to go and take care of another damn unlawful citizen. And he just kind of storms off, just kind of muffling something under his breath. That's pretty much inaudible. Sounds like just frustration in general.
So he's going off into town.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna follow him. Let me make a stealth roll.
Yep. Stealth roll.
21.
Okay. And just to make sure.
I mean, his passive perception can't be that high, but it's whatever.
Yeah, I'm just double checking. I think it's actually kind of meh.
And kind of as I'm following him, I'm trying to check out what's going on with his cloak, since you were saying it was kind of moving funny. Is it just moving funny because he's only got one arm, or
Well,
does he have like a pet ghoul in there or something?
you can roll me a perception roll.
Sure. See if I can actually push perception this time.
Yeah, his passive perception is only a 12, so you're good.
Well, I rolled an 8, so I did not really do good on that.
No, it just looks kind of weird as it's hanging off of him as he's walking, and even the breeze just kind of blowing against it. It just seems a little off, but you're not entirely sure why. Something off, but not sure why.
Well, yeah, I mean everything's off. Let's be perfectly clear. Yeah, so following him into town, staying, trying to be stealthy and following him, shadowing him.
Yeah, with your stealth roll, you're tailing him without anyone noticing. You follow him into a part of town, and you see another set of stocks, and you see him talking with a couple of guards, and they kind of say something to him, and he just nods his head, and you see another poor townsfolk kind of just pushed into the stocks and locked, and they kind of paint onto a sign another unbeliever, or they paint the word unbeliever on a piece of wood and hang it in front of the poor guy on the stocks.
How many people are there right now?
Currently at this time, just about 4 people.
Okay. It's not as atrocious as I thought it could be. Wonder how many people are in the house.
Yeah, just happen to be like 4 people looking. Yeah, the one thing that kind of stands out is that no one's really making their suffering and agony any worse. You don't see people like throwing tomatoes or throwing wastewater or anything on them. They're actually kind of feeling kind of, as people pass by, you kind of see pity and sadness as they're walking by them.
Are you kidding? People would
Yeah, I
not be
mean, who
throwing
has time to
tomatoes. They'd
change
be eating them.
something?
Right,
In
that's
a
true.
shithole like this. Even if they think they're poisonous, they would be eating them.
So when he was walking through town, he was just by himself.
Yeah, he was by himself, and any guards that passed him by, kind of just saluted him as they brushed past him.
Okay. So what is he? What did he come out here to do?
He was just out there just to oversee the people that they have in the stocks for the day.
Okay. Uh, well, it's kind of boring. I was hoping he was going to turn into a monster or something. Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, then yeah, like I said, I'll like I said, I'm going to keep, tailing and want to see where he goes after this.
Yeah, I mean, not really much after that. He goes and double checks the locks and the pads, and then from there he kind of marches back and uh, he kind of marches back towards the direction of the burgomaster's home.
Okay. All right. I informed the party he's confident enough in his abilities, or at least like he's just walking around by himself. So for whatever reason, if Lady Voctor, I think if Lady Voctor ever wanted the drop on him, she could have it. They're clearly afraid of him, so he must be a powerful foe in some way. Um, so just put that in our back pocket in case it comes up. I'm gonna head back. I think at this point I've got a good idea of what's going on with him. So I'll retreat to wherever the party's at, which I'll ask them like, where are y'all at?
We are staking out the coffin maker's place.
I shall stealthily move to the coffin maker's place.
Okay. Then visible. Okay, so your token should be visible now.
Should we be staying on the coffin maker's shop map or going on to like the Velaki map or something else?
Coffin maker map should be fine. Just
Okie dokie.
yeah. So you guys can reposition yourselves on the map wherever you guys want to stake out. Like so, it is 2 floors tall, so 2-story tall house.
Oh well, you said a coffin. I didn't think it was going to be this nice.
It was
It's pretty
best,
nice, huh?
best one in the shop. I mean,
it's also
first one.
quite roomy, for me. It's not like it's like a coffin for someone of my size. So, I mean, I should. It's really not that bad of a black hole. I just, I don't know. So why am I going in here exactly? What's the?
Well, was just thought, but is not necessary. There is some sort of vampire thing that is brain controlled the coffin maker, and we'll be sewing up here to collect bones from coffin, and we will spring out an attack.
Oh, I get it. So if I am in the coffin, they must think that I'm the bones. Which, to be fair, I am made of bones. I see the piece of humor in all this.
Was
I'm not
just
sure if I
thought
like it.
to spring out an attack when coffin opened.
Thus, I do like a good surprise. Yeah, that sounds like something I would do. Just make sure you give me something to eat and drink while I'm in there.
What if you need to go to the restroom?
I mean, I could probably come out and do the thing, and then this. You brought up bathroom in you broke the first rule of Dungeons and Dragons. Don't talk about the bathroom now. Whenever you play a video game or a role playing game, nobody talks about using the bathroom. Oh boy.
I've broken your immersion.
Yeah. Yeah, no one wants to role play potty time.
That's it. Game's over, guys. Go home.
Yeah.
I have ruined Dungeons and Dragons.
All the viewers are home. They're like, all right, I can't watch this anymore.
All right, I'm done. All right. So we're We are
I mean,
staking out.
it's not until nightfall, anyways. Like the sun has to go down. If there's really a vampire or something like that, I don't know.
At least
We're trying to fight a vampire. Is that what? Is that honestly what we're trying to do right now?
that does appear to be the case. Yes.
Ugh. Yeah, I'll definitely need to be inside of a. Yeah, whatever. All right. Well, I'm game for whatever we're trying to do.
All right. So let's see. We have Parrot, who is in token hidden. Parrot, do you want to be with Linden or behind Coffin?
Definitely behind the coffin.
All right. So Parrot is behind Coffin. Linden is in Coffin. And what? Quinn across street or in?
Yeah, I'd like to be on a roof somewhere where I could get a vantage point.
All right. So on the roof across street. Lucy, where would you like to be?
I don't know. Somewhere where I could be close enough to where the action is, but of sight. Is there an alleyway or something?
Is there alleyway next to Coffin Maker Stop, or is it like open ground? Oh, great overlord of Dungeons and Dragons.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Is there an alleyway to hide in, or is it all open ground?
So, looking at the map, it shows that you guys are at the coffin maker shop. So, zooming in, towards the south end of the building, there is a little bit of cover with a large tree. On the north side of the building, it appears that it just leads out to the street. Right?
The north side of the building leads to a street?
Yeah, so.
The map then that you have posted is weird because the door is to the south. Or
Well,
east.
yeah, and that's kind of the weird part because I'm looking here and it shows me that N6, which is the coffin maker shop, shows the main street on the north end, so up here, but yet the entrance to the door is here because this is the yeah, they built the freaking building
No,
weird.
I think N6, all of the ends or whatever are red roofs, right? That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So
Oh
the
wait, hold
main
on.
entryway would be the eastern entry point,
Which is still
and then the southern one is probably like just for his house.
well, so yeah, that's the weird part because this is all storage. Yeah,
So like, I guess
Yeah.
this is like his coffin showroom.
Yeah, I guess for lack of a better sense, you could say that. So.
So this is his workshop. So he wouldn't have people be coming like in and out of that place. People would be coming into the quote unquote coffin showroom. So I guess it would be more like.
Yeah, so south end, trees down here, roads out there, and, well, tree back down here somewhere, and looks like it's just kind of open space back here.
All right, so Lucy would probably hide like around the corner or something. And these two were in the coffin like near the front.
Okay.
So that leaves Quinn. Because this thing, it's hard to like say across the street. But we're gonna call this across the street.
Okay.
Then there are windows on the second floor, right?
Yeah, you got these blue lines here indicating windows.
Do they open?
No, they don't.
Okay, never mind. Let's see. Let me look at the map. There's nothing like really across the street, is there?
No, if we're looking at the map, it looks like it's just kind of a cul-de-sac that just opens up.
So yeah, Quinn, I guess, would be on the roof of the coffin shop itself. Which would be like there, so he could overlook them. But I guess Vika would probably be with Lucy around the corner. Tilda, where do you want to be?
Wherever I can easily hide.
Alright, so the three people who can't hide worth shit are around the corner of the building. The two people who, like, the person who is good at hiding and the person who turns himself into a ring, are in front and in the coffin. And the person who is good at hiding is on the roof. The other person who's good at hiding is on the roof. So, that is our setup.
Okay.
It's awkward with Quinn being on the roof, like, on this map, because he's, like... You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I get your. I get what you're putting down.
And I'm going to spend another psionic point to psionically link again to Vika and Parrot and Quinn for the evening. Whenever we're starting this charade.
Okay. All right. Any other plans before we spring the night into action?
I don't think so.
Okay. Alrighty. So, as you guys get ready to uh, for your stakeout, you see people start kind of hustling, trying to get inside before the dark. Uh, over. God, man, I can't just talk tonight. Before the darkness kind of rolls over the land, and as you kind of just sit there, you feel a chill in the air. Um, Not so much like any other time you've been out and about, but particularly at night, it feels like it's biting at your face and anywhere that isn't covered by cloth or armor. It just feels like the sting's a little bit more impactful than previous nights. And shortly, probably about maybe a good solid hour and a half of the sun setting, the mist gets really heavy and thick. You hear a clomping of hooves and a sound of a carriage approaching. It's far enough out in the distance to where you can tell it's going to take a little bit of time for it to get there, but it can be distinctly heard among the silence of the town. A few seconds afterwards, you hear a door opening from inside of the coffin maker shop, and the coffin maker kind of walks out, but not in a fluid motion. He's actually quite rigid, as if he's just um, like his body's being automated. He waits outside for a few minutes, and for the fact that you guys feel the cold biting at you, he's actually pretty still, as if it doesn't bother him whatsoever. A couple minutes pass by, the mist gets a little thicker, and a black carriage with black horses with red eyes kind of go in front of the shop, and they stop just right in front of his establishment. Minute two passes, nothing comes out of the carriage. You hear a very soft whisper saying, "Do you have it? Is the deed done?" The shopkeeper kind of shakes his head and kind of turns around and heads back in. Very, very rigidly, the carriage kind of waits for a few seconds.
Um,
Yeah, go ahead.
so we should be attacking. I think they know that the bones are not there in the telepathic link.
If they're making a move, I've got a bead on the driver. Is there a driver?
No, no driver.
Then how are the horses? The horses are just up front, just chilling.
Yeah, horses are just there, motionless.
So do we go?
So the guy got out of the carriage and
Oh
is. Did he,
no! There was no guy out of the carriage. You just heard a voice coming out of the carriage.
Yeah, there's nothing there. You don't see anything except there's a carriage.
he asked if the deed was done, and the
Yep.
dude just went inside.
Yeah. The coffin maker shook his head no and went back inside.
All right, yeah, then it's go time.
All right. So you said that in the link, right?
I did, yeah.
All right. Vika repeats it loud for Tilda and Lucy, and charges out to stand in front of the carriage.
Okay.
Oh, I hop out of the ring and cast Fireball at the carriage.
Oh.
Oh, boy. Really happening then.
Yeah. I won't make you roll an attack roll or anything like that. Yeah. You launch a fireball into it, and you see the carriage kind of go up in flames. And then shortly thereafter, you just see kind of just the wood just kind of splintering off, cracking. You see the carriage just kind of collapse upon itself. Horses kind of, get free from the horses get free from the initial blast, and their leather tie-ons and stuff get burnt off, and they just kind of escape into the night. Yeah, you just see a smoldering bunch of wood with where the carriage once was.
And nothing comes out of it?
Nope.
That is suspicious.
What the fuck?
There is something wrong here. That it, Vika storms back into the coffin maker's house with the broken door. Alright, this place is suspicious. Whatever that was, it was controlling him to do this thing and the carriage. There is something wrong here.
Yeah. This time, you notice him not even paying attention to you. In fact, that blank stare on his face is. You didn't think that it could be any duller, but it really looks like that there's nothing like the body's on, but the mind is completely gone.
I want to search the shop for anything not coffin related.
Okay.
Doors, trapdoors, just things out of place.
Is there a cellar at this place?
Exactly.
No. Yeah, there's no cellar, but there is an upstairs. Then double check, but yeah, I believe that is the
My
case.
question is when Parrot launched a fireball into the middle of town on a carriage, did anybody else go, "Oh my God, there's a carriage on fire in the middle of town"?
You know
Like I
what?
pop out of the coffin and I see what happened, and
Let me just see if a random bystander. Yeah, the neighbors kind of step out of the doorway and they see, just a pile of wood just on fire. They kind of do the whole shock with their hands over their mouth and, rush their family back inside. You hear the people kind of closing shutters for the windows and door locks being set into place again.
okay, I am gonna go try to talk to them.
Oh, the people inside?
Yeah, like the people who saw it, I want to ask them questions or anything.
Okay, yeah. You knock on the door.
When you have a moment, I'll let them do what they're doing here. But that's what Lyndon's doing right now.
Okay.
Is it the house that Quinn is standing on top of?
Oh boy. All right. So the party that's inside the coffin maker shop. Um, how are you guys gonna proceed? You guys gonna do this room by room, or are you guys fanning out?
We can fan out. I assume that Quinn will assist, yes?
Yeah,
Seeing as how he's probably the best investigator we have.
I'll come along and
I
help
will.
see if I can find anything.
I will help to see if I can investigate anything.
Okay. All right. So let's see here. All right. So you guys bust into this room first, and all.
Which room? I'm sorry, I was
Oh,
tabbed out.
this
Okay.
room here. That's the one you're starting with. The room that he's
Yep.
in. Okay. Yeah. And again, he's kind of in a stupor that he doesn't respond to anything said to him. But yeah, in this room, all that's going on in here is that arranged haphazardly about the floor in this musty L-shaped room are 12 wooden coffins. Nothing of worth of note in here.
All right, so we rummage through the coffins and find nothing.
Nah, they're all either works in progress or ready for their next occupant.
Ominous.
All right, and Lyndon, you get to the first house as they're rummaging through here. Just their standard, two-story house that you saw in Barovia in your travels through Vallaki, kind of enough to house a family of 5 or 6.
Sure. Yeah, I just knock on the door.
They're like, "Go away! You're gonna bring the danger here."
I just have a question. If you could be bothered to answer. It's okay. My friends are nearby.
Go roll me a persuasion check.
Oh, because I'm just so persuasive. Uh, can I or can't I? Let's see here. All right, we're having a hard time. Apparently, I got kicked out. Come on, D&D Beyond. Persuasion. That's an 11. That's above average.
Yeah, he's like, "All right, I'll answer one question. Make it quick."
Have you seen this carriage before?
He's like, "Yeah, it was here last week. Now please go before it comes back."
Is You've seen it before? Who's it? Do you know whose it is?
He goes, "No, it just showed up randomly last week. That's all I know. Please go."
Very well, thank you. And then I'll I'll dodge back over to the past the flaming. And like I said, there's nothing there. It's just a wooden carriage. There's nothing. There's no skeletons or treasure or anything in the carriage.
No, it was. Well, you would have noticed, but the folks on the outside would have seen a nicely decorated black carriage made out of
Yeah.
wood. But yeah, what you see now is just a giant pile of fire, just kind of burning out there.
Okay.
All right, so onto which room or which floor?
All right, well, if you see anything on the ground floor, we'll head upstairs and check out this big storage space that's up here.
Okay. Okay. And please put what order that you guys are going in.
Guess we'll start with me. And I've got on heightened alert since like all this stuff's happening, so I'm gonna start checking doors and shit.
Because right behind him,
I'm behind her.
and then I suppose Lucy.
All right. So you guys head up to floor 2, which is okay. As you make your way up the stairs, you notice that the floor is creaking as you make it up there, and you notice that this door, the you notice that on as you get up here, the floor up here creaks just enough, but you feel a bit of cold air coming through the bottom. Um, the door is not locked, and then you're just gonna open and just walk in, right?
I'm gonna check the door to see if I can see anything out. Well, you said that and feel air coming from underneath it.
Yeah, you can feel the cold air coming from underneath, so there's a little bit of a draft coming in.
Okay. Then, yeah, I'm gonna check it out, see if there's anything amiss with the door.
Yep.
No.
Yep, nothing wrong with the door. It's just, you just feel a draft coming from the bottom of it, and the door opens with ease.
Okay, I will open the door with ease then and carefully poke my head in.
Yeah, as you open the door, you feel a small, gust of wind kind of push through with the air current, and all you notice in this large, drafty room is strung with cobwebs and takes up most of the upper floor. Stacks of wooden planks lie among several crates marked junk.
All right. Well, I'm going to search through the stacks of wooden crates that are marked junk.
Hold on. Vika is going to come in first and keep an eye out to see if there's anything hiding.
Okay, so who's opening up so you're gonna look through the crates or the planks? Sorry.
I'm gonna look through the crates.
Okay.
Vika stands next to him, like keeping an eye out. Her sword is out.
For the record, I'm not gonna be too far behind. I'm not just gonna like linger outside.
Oh no, I understand. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of real estate for the stairways, so.
So base of stairs. Well, Vika's moved in, so people can move up a bit. Is Lyndon coming in too? Or is he still dealing with the stuff outside?
No, I'm heading back over,
Okay.
and I'm asking where you all are at. Where you all are at.
Okay. So, might be a good spot to start up next time, but as soon as the crate opens, a vampire spawn bursts forth from that crate. Oops, that's not stacked grid. I will mark this guy as 3 so that way we can get some consistency. Oops. Alright, yeah, 6 vampire spawns burst forth from the crates. Goody, you guys found a vampire nest.
Fantastic.
Yay!
It's just what I always wanted.
Right? It's the gift that keeps on giving, right?
And it will be the perfectly appropriate Christmas fight for next week.
Right.
God bless us, everyone.
All right. So next week, sometime between 7:30 Mountain Standard Time, we will start our fight against the vampire spawn in the coffin maker shop, which, don't know if there's a more appropriate setting for that, to be honest. But yeah, we'll do some combat next time, which seems like it's been a while since we've actually fought anything. And then we'll kind of go from there. So we'll hopefully see you all back here next week and get ready for another fun episode of Monster Hunter Barovia. You guys have a good night.